So, Jordan, I hear that you like Spider-Man. And one of the things that you may remember with Spider-Man is his motto, with great power comes great responsibility. And those are words that his Uncle Ben, Peter Parker's Uncle Ben, taught him. And those are the words he comes to live by. Well, it took a tragedy, it took the death of Uncle Ben before Spider-Man could finally hear those words and live into them. And just as Spider-Man got his start listening to Uncle Ben's words, we too get our start by listening to Jesus's words. So when we're baptized, we become part of Jesus's flock. We become part of his sheep. And his sheep, as Jesus tells us, know his voice. So when we get baptized, we start to get to know Jesus' voice. And just like with Spider-Man, with Uncle Ben, that can sometimes be difficult for us to do at the beginning. So that's why baptism is just the start. So once we become part of Jesus' sheep, we come back each week so that we can hear Jesus' voice. We do that by hearing what God has to say to us in the words of the Bible, just like we're doing right now. Now, another thing with Spider-Man is that he has a lot of villains that he has to face. And sometimes we do too, just like Spider-Man. And that's why Jesus' words are so important for us to hear. Because as Jesus tells us in the gospel, he's there to give us life and life abundantly. And another thing that we hear in our psalm today, that psalm that we just sang together, that's another place where we hear Jesus' voice. Because sometimes we can be in scary places, like the valley of the shadow of death even. But what we hear is that even in those times, Jesus is there to protect us and to guide us. So even when we have to face a lot of villains like Spider-Man, Jesus is there. And he's even preparing a feast for us too. And he's there to lead us so we can be in the house of the Lord with him forever. And now for everyone else too. Baptism for all of us is just the start of the journey. And it's the start where we start to listen to Jesus' voice. And so my hope is that each and every one of you will come back so you can hear that voice again and again every Sunday. So that you'll know the voice of the Good Shepherd, who is Jesus, who is our shepherd. It's not that there won't be hardships or even villains along the way. Yet if we listen to Jesus' voice, we will get through those times. We'll get through those times where we have those hardships, where we face those villains. We'll get through them, protected and whole in the life which Jesus gives to us. The life that in Jesus' own words, he longs for each and every one of us to receive.